PokeRamble Podcast.
Welcome to the PokeRamble Podcast. I'm Kumail and we'll be talking about all things 25th anniversary. Are they going to make you happy? Who knows? But all I'm saying is, don't bother going to McDonald's. Yes, welcome to episode 34 of the PokeRamble Podcast. I'm your host Kumail, and joined with me, as always, is the Battle Frontier Brain himself, Amit. How goes it?
Dude, you picked the perfect name for this podcast. It was a name that was in my head. It was a name that was in my head when the news story came out this week. I was like, this is what we're calling the podcast. But it's actually been a crazy week. Like, there's so much other stuff to talk about as well that I'd forgotten about it. But you have absolutely pulled out the right the right name for this podcast.
Yep. Oh man, it's an absolute disaster. But episode 34, what episode is it?
So we are on episode Nido King, the one, the only.
Nido King, my favorite of the two Nidos.
Yeah, you said, and we talked about it last time. Well, I think when we were on episode Nido Queen,
Yeah.
and you wanted to explain why you liked Nido King more than Nido Queen.
So Nido King, the shiny is better. That's number one. I mean that sort of
the shinies are inverted, right? So shiny Nido Queen is purple and shiny Nido King is blue.
So yeah, Nido King is like that really powerful blue, which I really like. But also as well, I remember like in Generation 6 there was a singles tournament called the Kanto Classic.
Yes, I remember that.
And I did really well in that tournament, and it was partly down to me having Nido King there,
Nice.
with a very diverse move pool, and it hit really hard. So yeah, no, I'm quite fond of Nido King.
They both have pretty crazy move pools. Actually, shiny. I thought shiny Nido Queen was purple. It's not. It's green. I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was green. Green.
The prior evolutions.
It's like a tealish
purple.
sort of green.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
some weird reason, the prior evolutions are purple, and then it's green when it evolves into Nido Queen.
Mm-hmm.
But shiny Nidoran, female, and Nidorina are purple.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
they don't
strange.
look too good, the shinies, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, well, let's just stop talking about like Nidorans and Nido Queens and Kings, but we all know Nido King's the best. We're going down.
We can move forwards.
Okay, fine. We'll get on to our first segment then, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. 25 and very much alive. So that was your sort of name for this segment.
Can you believe we are less than 2 weeks away from the anniversary? 25 years.
I'm going to call this segment also I'm hating it.
So, McDonald's has finally launched their Pokemon anniversary collaboration. It launched a few days ago on the 9th of February. And I think I said this to you actually. This is the first time in a while that I've truly been ashamed to be a Pokemon fan.
Yeah, which is quite powerful
Because-
language to use.
Well, it's so we talked, I think, on a previous show about what is in the Happy Meal for the Pokemon celebration. So you get a pack of
Sugar,
4 trading
spice,
cards.
everything nice. These are the ingredients to make the PokeRamble podcast. Never mind,
Nice.
sorry.
You had-
It was a
No, you had
reference.
it. It was good. You get 4 trading cards,
Mhm.
which are 1 out of the 8 generations worth of starters or Pikachu,
Mhm.
Foil and non-foil versions,
Mhm.
and then you get a plastic frame which you can use to display a trading card in,
Mhm.
and a sticker book. So
Mhm.
actually some really cool stuff.
And it should be said that
Um,
there's 50 cards in total in this set. 25 of them are
Yeah,
hollow,
so
and 25 of them are
yes.
not hollow.
Yep. And scalpers, for want of a better word, have been buying Happy Meals in bulk, have been stealing stock from the back rooms of McDonald's, and up marketing all of it on places like eBay, and selling them for thousands of pounds. Which means that not only have the Pokemon Company had to tell McDonald's to stop putting toys in some Happy Meals because there just isn't enough stock, meaning kids are going without the toys, but also there's nothing that they can do to stop people who have scalped these boxes. And some of the unsealed boxes are selling for thousands of pounds. Crazy.
It's part of this wider problem that we're seeing at the moment, where the interest in the TCG has gone up significantly because it's gone back into the YouTube mainstream. for content in terms of pack openings and stuff like that. But you see some content creators now upselling boxes and stuff like that, and there's only so much supply of the old sort of TCG sets, and now that all these YouTubers are buying up these sets, the price of them have just skyrocketed completely because of that. And yeah, I mean, we've seen it with newer sets as well, with Champions Path, for example, where YouTubers are buying it up in bulk. And I should say it's not the wider YouTube community, it's a small niche of them. I'm not even going to name them, but they've been buying up lots of stock and then reselling it on their own sites for a premium. So yeah, it's shameful.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna. You might need to check your mic. The chat saying there may be an issue with it. But just while you're,
can you not hear me on the thing? Do you want to have a quick look?
I'll just ask what's going on.
Just turn on Twitch on your side, or maybe I'll turn it on.
Okay, let me unmute Twitch. 1 sec.
Yeah, that might be. Because if I unmute Twitch here, it's going to be a big problem.
It seems okay to me, so we'll pass on.
Okay. Oh, I think he was. Okay, so for people listening to the PokeRamble podcast or watching the PokeRamble podcast, for the past couple of streams that I've been doing, I've had all sorts of issues with mics. I don't want to even get into it, but thank you, Mr. Mac. You gave me a heart attack there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see what happened.
Mr. Mac had the same thing on Friday, so no, we'll continue. Sorry.
So just to go back to Pokemon cards, I mean, the Pokemon Company came out this week, which is actually pretty big, and they've acknowledged that there is a problem in the amount of stock they're producing for trading cards, and they're going to start printing more of them. So going forwards, there'll be more copies of cards in the new sets that are coming out. Whether that will apply to Vivid Voltage or not, we're not sure, but certainly going forwards, that's their intention.
So what I can say is I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but in terms of the Shining Fates set, they had confirmed that they'll be doing it in sort of phases rather than one bulk production of the cards. Because me and you were trying to find the Pikachu box, which now I've got confirmation is getting ready to ship out to us. So
yeah, mine got packed today.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to getting that and then unboxing it on stream at some point. But yeah, they said they're going to be doing it in phases because even the Shining Fates set has had a lot of demand on it. So it's good that the Pokemon Company are going to be making more cards available. But something's got to be done about this wider practice of buying up all the stock and then forcing people to buy it at a higher price. Hopefully, with the amount of stock that Pokemon Company will make available, it's going to make it redundant for resellers.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, this is so far only released in the US. There was a question in the chat about that. So we should see releases in other markets, particularly the European ones, in the coming weeks. But there's a Top Trumps giveaway at the moment for Happy Meals that I think is running for another week. So hopefully we'll get them soon. But it does suck. It does suck that people are buying these in bulk online and kids aren't able to get them in their Happy Meals. And what should be a really happy celebration has become a little bit of a bummer. But hopefully, as we get a bit more stock, and particularly in the main TCG, we'll get that sorted.
So I know there's one card that you really want, which was what, a Holo Trico?
Dude, I would love Holo Cyndaquil or Holo Trico, and I'd be a happy man.
So I know someone who got the Holo Trico. You showed me it yesterday.
Super cool.
I might have to be in negotiations with him in order to secure it for you. So let's see how that holds up. But I think that's really it.
I think one of the reasons why this is so popular at the moment is that we're seeing collectors sets of first edition Pokemon cards selling for upwards of several £100,000.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that in 25 years' time, a complete set of all 50 cards from this collection will be worth a significant amount of money as well, because they are relatively limited in stock. Not everyone is keeping them. The Pokemon franchise seems to be going from strength to strength. We'll wait and see.
Fingers crossed. But I think that's it for the Happy Meal. We'll move on to
happier news.
Well, happier news. Here's another suit that you absolutely don't need. But so this is a suit that comes from a company called Oppo Suits. It's scheduled for release on February 22nd, 2021. It'll retail for another $120.
I thought this was a joke when you sent it to me.
It's legit.
Nuts.
Yeah, no. I mean, we've seen the
tie. I would totally wear. I would happily wear that tie.
Yeah.
But the jacket and matching trousers, a little bit too much.
Actually, just a couple of weeks ago, we saw another company, selling all sorts of ties with Pokemon, and they looked amazing. And you've just reminded me I need to go have a look on the Japanese eBay for them. But yeah, I would. Oof. it's just nice to see like the Pokemon 25th anniversary is going further than I originally thought.
Well, it's nice that they're licensing or partnering with so many other companies. Like, we've already had the Levi's celebration. McDonald's is a fair mainstay. We normally get one of those a year. But yeah, other companies are now starting to come out with their collaborations. And there's actually a few more to talk about in this stream already.
Well, let's talk about the next one, which is all these plushies in front of us. And can I just say,
Yeah,
for
so
some
shout out
reason,
to-
I really want
Go on.
that. I really want that Magikarp plush.
Nice. So this comes to us from Jaxwares, who are going to be marketing a party hat Pikachu, I think after the party hat from Pokemon Go, and then various other plushies that seem to have some kind of action to them. So a flame action Charmander, snooze action Snorlax. So it's probably one of the squeeze and respond toys rather than just plushies.
So would
They
it be
look really
like
cool.
you squeeze a toy and be like carp, or Pikachu?
I hope so. I hope the Magikarp one flops.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I hope it flops. And I hope it like does the tiniest little jump,
Yeah,
like Magikarp jump. If it could do that, that would be awesome. But it's cool. It's really cool that as I said, we're getting more and more collaborations, and I have to say the party hat Pikachu looks pretty cool.
indeed.
He's a happy boy. He's a happy boy.
Going to one of the more unexpected, but should have been expected collaborations. Post Malone.
Yeah, the Pokemon Company said that they were going to be partnering with other musicians, and Post Malone is now getting a live stream at the very end of the Pokemon Anniversary Day, so midnight US time on the 27th of February. It's a really
It's
interesting
not
one.
midnight.
Post Malone
Midnight
did
UK time, and then
Sorry,
earlier, yeah.
it's midnight UK time. You're right. It's midnight UK time, early evening US time, very early morning East Asia.
The next day,
Going
New
into the
Zealand.
20th, yeah, going into the 28th for East Asia. But I mean, Post Malone seemed on the surface, it seems like a really odd choice. His music is typically not, the most mainstream. But then I think back to the collaboration that he did with, I guess, Sony for Into the Spider-Verse, where he did the number for that, and it was a huge hit, huge sensation. So I'm actually really excited for it, and I love that song personally.
So what was that song
I'm
called?
really excited to see. It was called Sunflower.
Now, you know what I'm going to say here, right? Well, you just do the pun for me. So the song he's going to do for the Pokemon Company is called Sunflora. Yeah, exactly. I can't wait.
I would be fine with that. If he does a song called Sunflora and just parodies the hell out of Sunflower, I'm totally fine with that.
So, if you remember, Bump of Chicken did a original song for the Pokemon Company not too long ago. Do you
They
think
did,
that we're going to get
yes.
an original song from Post Malone for the Pokemon Company?
100%. I think we're going to get an original song from Post Malone, and I think we'll probably get an original song from Katy Perry at some point.
It'll be like Post Malone to Professor Elm, and like Professor, it's like the start of Generation.
I like that you committed.
Yeah, it's like the start of Generation 2. You have to send
where the pun was going to be.
Yeah, you have to give something to like Professor Oak, and it's like, oh, cheers for this. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I had the posts. I don't. But let's just move on.
Postwick Malone. Postwick.
Okay, there we go. That now we're talking. Is there any chance we get an updated PokeRap? So with all, I think 898 now.
Could you imagine if he just did an 890 Pokemon
98, I think.
PokeRap?
Yeah. Oh man,
I'm so up for that.
he'll be blue in the face by the end of it. Like that blue picture will literally be a representation of him live if he tries to do that.
Would be the greatest live stream ever.
And the greatest thing about this collaboration is we're getting a special Pikachu, another special Pikachu.
Yeah, I can't believe we're not done with announcements. So another special Pikachu, this time coming to Sword and Shield. And the Pikachu, to celebrate the 25th anniversary, and probably all the music that's happening, is going to have an exclusive move of Sing.
I can't wait.
Which is
Sing,
it's exciting. It's
Celebrate, and two other moves, isn't it?
So it'll come with Sing, Celebrate. I don't think it has Happy Hour. I think it just has Sing and Celebrate as its signature moves. I think it has Electro Web as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still super cool. It's nice to get a Pikachu with a new move that it didn't have before. And hey, if you're using your Raichu competitively, as some people do, you can now give it a sleeping move, which it's never had before.
Surge Surfer.
Well, I said
Raichu.
there's currently no way to evolve Pikachu into Alolan Raichu.
Not yet.
in Sword and Shield.
Not yet.
Not yet. But yeah,
Conspiracy hat on.
Surge Surfer Sing Raichi would be very, very good. Because it basically does what Sleep Powder Chlorophyll Venusaur does. But
yes.
better.
And then you get discharged. Okay, we'll stop about the competitive stuff. That's what I have for this little section of ours. Anything you want to plug before we move on?
No, listen, 14 days, well, 13 days to go. I'm sure there's going to be lots of news next week as well. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, I guess one more thing to probably say is that they have announced that they'll be doing news across the whole entire Pokemon week for the anniversary. So, sorry. Anniversary's on 27th, so for the whole week leading up to the 27th, they'll be releasing news ongoing and celebrating. So, plenty to look forward to, essentially. That's what I'll just say there. We'll move on. So you want to be a Pokemon Masters? This is the part of the show where we talk about Pokemon Masters, and boy oh boy did we get a developer letter.
Yeah, developer letter 18, and there was a lot in it. Very unexpected. I know they said that the next one will be mid-February, and it came a little earlier than expected, and there was a lot in it.
So where do we start? Well, I guess it's up to 1.5 year anniversary. So we've got a new event with Sycamore and Xerneas and Lysander and Evital, but we'll come to that in a little bit. But we're going to get a main story update on the 17th.
Yeah, Piers and Obstagoon, who look great together. And I guess now that we know that Dynamax is coming to Pokemon Masters in due course, nice that they've given us the one trainer in Galar who doesn't use Dynamax, so that we don't have to wait until that event to get more Galar.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of that, is he? He doesn't like using that energy. You know, respect to him, dude, for doing what he believes in. But we're also going to find out, we're going to get another piece of the story we've been waiting for absolute years, what it feels like.
They've confirmed that this story is going to officially wrap up the Lear and Hooper story. So whether that will include the semi-finals and finals of the competition, I don't know. But certainly, they've formally said it's going to wrap up the Lear and Hooper story segment.
Awesome. What else to say? On the 17th, I believe Cresselia and is coming to the Legendary Arena.
Yeah, so probably to tie in with Piers and Obstagoon, it's safe to say it's probably going to have a Dark-type weakness.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for that. We always like a good Legendary Arena challenge. And the last one was very good. Regirock was awesome.
Just coming off that, Lance and Dragonite and Cygnus Cynthia are coming in a banner.
With 6-star EX unlocked for both of them. Both very cool designs.
Yeah, I love Lance's 6-star EX design. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's absolutely so cool. Are you going to get your Cynthia to 6-star EX now, especially that you've got Serena, Valentine Serena?
Probably not, because I feel like it's not the banner I want to pull on this close to the anniversary. But depending on what the anniversary brings, we'll see.
Just to say that the training area reward boost is coming February 21st as well. The 1.5 anniversary is actually taking place on February 25th. And what is that going to bring with it?
It's going to bring a brand new class of trainer called the Master Trainer, who has special passive ability, which is called a Master Passive Ability, which I assume is going to be something akin to the perks and benefits you see in Champion Stadium. So like permanent weather, or maybe you get move gauge acceleration or something like that. But I imagine it's going it's going to be more powerful than any other sync pair we've seen before.
I cannot wait. Oh, dude. Like, I've been so hesitant to spend any of my gems knowing that this is coming.
Yeah, and we know that it's going to have different rates to usual sync pairs, so well worth saving your gems before the anniversary now.
My question here is, who is it going to be? Can't be Diantha, right?
I feel like it has to be Red and someone. And
yeah.
The two reasons why. One, Red is the only trainer in the game with a Signasuit variant, but no regular variant.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense to not have a regular variant, which I guess could then be the Master one.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a lot of the other trainers who are of that tier now have multiple versions. We have 2 Lances, we have 2 Stevens, 2 Cynthias. We obviously don't have Diantha, so maybe. But for me, it feels like Red is probably the most obvious choice outside of all of those champions.
Yeah.
Or we may get. I mean, some people have also said we might get Ash.
So the credence for Ash is the fact that they've said unprecedented abilities or powers.
Yeah, and we talked about last week it maybe being Ash and Ash Greninja.
Yeah.
But I feel like now that we know that it's going to have a master passive ability, I reckon that's what it's meant by
that makes a lot of sense. And
listen, this is from the same company who said that the Lysander pairing was going to be unexpected.
Yeah.
And we got freaking Lysander and Yveltal.
My last thing is theme skills are getting an update.
Yeah, some really interesting ones as well, like bodybuilders and grown women. So I'd be really curious to see what that's
Context,
about.
Please.
They've literally called one of the new theme skills grown women. That's the only context that we have.
Christ.
So we're getting bodybuilders, which I hope will include like Brawly and Bruno, and I hope Brock's in there too because he's ripped.
Yeah.
So that feels like the generic catch-all category for males.
Yeah.
And then we're getting grown women, who I assume will be the generic catch-all,
which will apply to like all of 3 trainers.
Well, I guess like Lusamine, maybe Burnett if we get Burnett. I don't know if it includes Agatha. She's a grown woman, but it's a very odd title, and I'm curious to see what that's going to lead to. We're also getting a Signasuit one. I assume we might get
We're going to get the Pallet Town one and all that kind of stuff.
I was thinking like one for like the calendar event ones, like the New Year's ones and the Valentine's ones. Maybe we'll get something along those as well. But yeah, certainly more theme skills. So start saving those theme skill orbs, because boy, is grinding for them slow.
Yes. And we come on to the next bit. So the 2 new sync pairs, and we'll start off with Lysander, shall we?
Yeah. So the PokeFair sync pair you can scout for is the flying type, which we weren't necessarily expecting. Yveltal with Oblivion Wing, which gives it incredible healing power, so it can heal for up to half of its maximum health with every attack. X special attack, nothing special there. Dark Pulse, which is a dark type move and boosted very nicely by the passive. I think it's Dark Power 5, which boosts dark moves by 50%. And then a trainer move, End the World, which charges the user's move gauge by 2, reduces the user's sync countdown by 1, sharply raises crit, and lowers the defense and special defense. So not a bad way to max out crit. The gauge charge is nice because Oblivion Wing is a 4-bar move, so it is a bit wanting when you want to use it repeatedly. But really, it's a sync pair built around lots and lots of recovery. It basically starts with healthy healing, so it starts with automatic healing. It has Rejuvenation 1 as a passive as well, so lots and lots of ways for it to heal. And then takes advantage of that through things like HP Advantage 2. Harry 2 is a multiplier that boosts when the target is flinched from Dark Pulse. I think it has Aggravation 2 on Dark Pulse as well, made up of 2 Aggravation 1 tiles. So lots and lots of ways to build your battle. It's a really good pair, both a flying and a dark pair, to be honest. It can do well as either. But what's really strange is I wouldn't say it particularly outshines either Blue and Pidgeot or Karen and Mega Houndoom on its own. But if you have neither of those pairs, then this might be a really good one for you to have.
It's a good stopgap.
Certainly with the anniversary coming. It's certainly with the anniversary coming, it's probably better to save, given that we know this pair is going to be around for a little while. But it's a very strong sync pair, but perhaps
not one of urgent need, I'd say.
Yeah, more bait for the anniversary than it is perhaps overpowered.
And let's talk about the next pair, which I'm very excited about, which was for free.
Free to play, entirely free to play.
And again, can I just say that this is from Bulbapedia, so give them some love. What you see on the screen is I think out of everybody I've seen, the way Bulbapedia captures the sort of summary of like sync pairs, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it is very nice. So Xerneas, very, very bulky sync pair, lots of defense, lots of special defense.
All of it's like 700 HP, and all of its stats are like mono 300, which is incredible for a free sync pair.
it outshines Mew by some distance in terms of just base stats. But what's really impressive about it is it's just such a good support pair across the board. So its moves, Dazzling Gleam and Moonblast, which are two damaging Fairy-type moves, both boosted by Fairy Power 5 as a passive. The World is Fast, which grants move gauge acceleration on the allied side of the field, removes all status conditions, and makes allied sync pairs gradually heal themselves. So it's a single-use trader move, but a very, very effective one with MP refresh in the grid. And the standout move, in my opinion, is Horn Leech, which is a grass-type move, which recovers HP based on the amount of damage dealt.
Do you want to tell people what you witnessed on Friday?
I was going to say, as Kumail proved on Friday, Horn Leech is absolutely the key to knocking down potentially a 1 versus 3 150-point champion stadium, which I am going to be trying this evening before the champion stadium rotates, because I'd love to see if it's possible to 1 versus 3 on master mode with 1,500 points just using Xerneas. It's that good.
I think you just need to be patient with it, really.
Yeah,
it's like that's all. Like, if you've got 10 minutes to spare, like, you can just infinitely like heal yourself because of the trainer move and Horn Leech.
The sync move is probably the most interesting, Gentlemanly Geomancy, which basically maxes special attack, special defense, and speed, assuming you've got this to 5/5, and also fully recharges the move gauge as well. So
which you are going to get if you do the event. It just comes with it. So.
Yep. It's also super easy to get from the event. I think you just have to do a number of battles repeatedly, which is not hard.
Yeah. And get to a certain point of the story, essentially.
Yeah. Also, as a passive, it has basically the same as Blue, which is the ability to raise allies' attack or special attack. But unlike Blue, who's guaranteed, this is it's a good chance, which I think is a 40% chance or a 60% chance. I can't
50.
remember.
If it's 4, then it's 50. 5, then 60.
So 50% chance
yeah.
to raise every ally's attack, special attack, or both, which makes it basically the only pair outside of Blue who can max special attack and attack on all of your sync pairs, which is super helpful.
Now, in terms of its grid, it's got a fairly great grid. I mean, the one that you probably want to go for most of the time is the Horn Leech Master Healer. For obvious reasons.
Basically, effectively Master Healer 1 plus Master Healer 1 on Horn Leech is great healing and makes it a really impressive tank, even before it uses its sync move to boost its special defense. Other interesting things like Impervious to prevent stat reduction, Healing Hand 2 to heal all allies of status conditions, Revenge Boost 4 to give you move gauge refreshes when you get hit, Recuperation 1. There's just so many different ways to build Xerneas, certainly for free-to-play players who haven't necessarily got all of the good sync pairs. This is a great one to have in the roster, particularly very soon when modifying your sync grids will be free. It's a really good one to play with and mix up with.
And I guess the last thing to say is that we've suffered for so long not having a good free fairy pair, and we finally got it. We finally got one that can do some damage.
Yeah, this is a free-to-play sync pair that can do exactly that. Hit very hard as a fairy type striker.
No, I will say that still the hardest hitting sync pair that we've got is Valentine's Serena. I desperately want that. Yeah. I really want it.
On pure numbers alone, yes, but actually as the all-round package, Xerneas can max attack, special attack, and speed, and special defense without trying. It can also potentially max defense because it does have that option in its grid with Force Field 1. Oh no, that's special defense. I think it has one for defense as well. But either way, it's a rocking sync pair and a nice one to have for free.
Yeah, it's going to need Skylar to rely on getting this defense up because it can't do it by itself. But
there we go.
We're going to skip past all that and we're going to move on to our next section. Should have had that prepared, sorry. There we go. I can't remember what title we give this section of the show. Is it Get Your Sword and Shield, but no gun because there isn't a third version of a game?
I don't think we've ever had a title for it. I think we just call it the Sword and Shield News Roundup.
This is the podcast form Sword and Shield Roundup. What is happening with Sword and Shield?
So many things. So we've got Shiny Milcery appearing in raids throughout the weekend. So if you're looking to complete a Shiny Alchemy Dex, you'll want to probably hit that event up before midnight tonight.
So what's special about these is that, one, this is a returning event, so you can get all these suites again to evolve Milcery, including the 2 hidden suites, which I think were the Star Suite and the Rainbow Suite. And then 2, these can Gigantamax as well.
Yeah, once they evolve, they will turn into Gigantamax Alchemy. Really cool.
But they can be a Gigantamax Milcery as well, which is mind-blowing.
Is there a G-Max Milcery?
Yeah, surprisingly. Well, it doesn't have a different form. It just looks the same, but it's called a Gigantamax for some reason.
Oh, cool! I never knew that. That's cool. Does Pikachu, once it's G-Max capable, lose the ability to evolve?
I'm not sure.
I have to look that up.
Yes.
I'm curious about what happens to Raichu. Anyway, we also had 1 million people defeat Cramorant over the course of last week, which means that you can get all the rewards, including gold bottle caps, flame orb, toxic orb, light ball, all from Mystery Gift at the moment. So make sure you log into Sword and Shield and grab that. And another one to perk your interest for competitive play, Global Challenge Winter 2021 has been announced for February. It's actually running over the anniversary weekend, 25th, 26th, 27th of February. It's a singles battle tournament with series
finally.
Finally. So you can bring a legendary Pokemon with you. So look forward to your Mewtwo's and whatever else you want to bring. Xerneas, you can choose any one of them.
Excellent. That's really it for the Sword and Shield roundup. Let's move on to the next segment. This is merch to do about nothing. So we talked about a lot of 25th anniversary sort of collaborations. Check this out. Pokemon Fishing came out before Pokemon Sleep.
Yeah, so official Pokemon lures. The Pikachu one, I think, very reminiscent to the one that Misty has in the anime, and a Kyogre one, which I think is the one that Mallow uses in the anime.
Yes, indeed, you're right. Not Mallow. What's her face?
Lana,
that's the one.
I get those two confused for some reason.
No, it's easy.
Lana uses. So yeah, the official Pokemon lures that you can now buy from Duo Co.
I think it's going to be spring when it comes out, but yes, you can probably pre-order them at this point. But yeah, they look really cool, and there's a video on their website as well that you can check out. It looks amazing, like floating on the water. So yeah, really cool little things. So yeah, Pokemon Fishing came out before Pokemon Sleep. Will you believe it? And another really cool collaboration happening. So there's an unofficial cat day in Japan, and what does the Pokemon Company do? Cat merchandise, and look at the art on the left hand side. It's amazing.
I really like the Skitty. I like that the
Skitty is just relaxing.
Tail.
Yeah,
super cool.
You got Litten there as well.
They've got a little wishy-washy bag. It's
you're looking on the right with the plushies.
Yeah, I was looking at the plushies.
I was just looking at the art.
Cool.
Amazing art. Look at Trubbish.
I like the
how cute
the
it is.
Nice.
I mean, I guess like there's plushies, there's like teacups, there's folders, there's all sorts of merchandise, like rubber key rings, all sorts of merchandise for unofficial Cat Day this month in Japan. But oh man, I really wish we had a store in the UK or like just in Europe to be able to order stuff like this. I mean, look at the Litten's face. Look at it.
Dude, it's very cool artwork.
It's adorable. It's absolutely adorable.
Feel bad for Glameow, who's not been in a game since Generation 4, but there it is.
Where is it? Oh yeah, God, it's such a forgettable Pokemon apart from the anime. Really, when you think about it,
it literally hasn't been in a game since Generation 4.
Do you think there's some sort of technical issue with it, just like coding, like its Pokédex numbers, messes something up?
I just think they don't like it. I think they don't like Glameow and they don't like Pergly.
I can't think of any pun, but let's just let's put polls on that and move on. There we go. That's fun. It's time for the news roundup. So quickly, there's something happening in China. What is it?
Yeah, weirdly, China have finally got a release of Pokemon Quest, which has been renamed Pokemon Adventure in China. And has some quality of life improvements on the base game, like a customizable avatar, and a couple more things you can build in your camp. But China have finally got Pokemon Quest.
Bizarre, it's taken so long.
It came out of nowhere, but it's super cool that they've got it.
And there's an update to Pokemon Home. What's happening to Pokemon Home?
Just some quality of life updates. So you can now complete all of your Wander trades without clicking on each one individually. There's a couple of other smaller bug fixes and buttons that they've added to make things
I
easier
think
to
there's
filter and search.
there's more detail behind your original trainer on your Pokemon, and I think that it's got more description of when the Pokemon was caught and stuff like that.
Yeah, so do make sure that you update Pokemon Home on both your Switch and your mobile or tablet device so that it's compatible when you want to trade.
We'll quickly go back to the last segment about Perugly and Glameow. Is this an indication that, there's Gen 4 remakes happening and we'll finally get Glameow?
Lots of people were really mad that Glameow and Perugly were not added in the base Sword and Shield because it's one of the few Pokemon who've not been in natively Generation 5, 6, or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't many who were in just Generation 4 and not been in a game since.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it's not been in Sword and Shield or either DLC
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully means that we'll be getting it in a Gen 4 remake. And at this point, that feels like the prevailing theory, but we'll have to wait and see.
Now, if you remember last year when we rebooted the podcast, we talked about one franchise that was going to close out of nowhere, even though it was only out for a few months. Pokemon Rumble Rush.
So the creators of Pokemon Rumble Rush, who are, I want to say, Amberella?
Yeah.
If I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
Amberella have been bought out by Creatures Incorporated, who are basically one of the three companies who own the Pokemon franchise.
So this happened at the tail end of 2020. So assuming that they found out that an acquisition was going to occur, that's probably why they pulled the plug on Pokemon Rumble Rush, because we sort of assumed that maybe it wasn't making as much money as sort of other mobile games were, and they thought, you know what, this has been a good test. We'll make a big IP out of this with the next sort of like home console release, and we'll leave it there. But it turns out it's probably because they were in the middle of being acquired, and at that point they had to cease development.
Yeah, it's strange because normally when you acquire a company, one of the things that you can do is continue to propagate the IP that company's working on. So they could have just taken the team that were running Pokemon Rumble Rush in Amberella and moved it into Creatures Inc. So it's strange that they chose not to do that, and instead they did disband the company, but that's in a legal sense rather than a personnel sense. So a lot of the employees for Amberella could now be working for Creatures Inc.
Yeah, because they were acquired and disbanded by Creatures Inc. once they were acquired.
Yeah, so we don't know fully what's going on behind the scenes, but hopefully this means that they're trying to move the Pokemon Rumble franchise forwards, and that can only be a good thing.
Fingers crossed. But it's nice to finally get some sort of like idea of what's happened and why it just suddenly, because it was a big shock to us. Like out of nowhere, they were just like, okay, really game's over. But yeah, that is it. We've got one more thing which is quite bizarre. Twitter plays Pokemon. What? So you were going to give us an update a couple of weeks ago and we totally forgot about it, but what's happened this time?
Yeah, this might be the second time I'm disappointed to be a fan of Pokemon. Twitter Plays Pokemon has been set back by a number of trolls who have released a lot of the Pokemon that the protagonist had managed to catch over their time playing the game. So they are, although they're making progress, getting all of their Pokemon, or most of their Pokemon released was a huge setback. And Twitter trolls, are not the nicest of people in the best of times, but to take out something quite as innocent as this is really a bit of a bummer. So unfortunately, Twitter Plays Pokemon is having some trouble, but hopefully we will get some redemption and they'll be able to complete the game still.
Fingers crossed. Okay, we shall move on to the next one. Amit, where the Helioptile is Pokemon sleep?
All right. We have another theory, not as crazy as the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We now know that Katy Perry is working with the Pokemon Company. That's officially been confirmed. We also know that Katy Perry's #1 album in terms of sales is called Teenage Dream. So clearly they brought Katy Perry onto as a professional consultant to help with Pokemon Sleep. Because she knows about teenage dreams. She knows how to make it the best possible experience. She's bringing her teenage dream knowledge to make Pokemon Sleep the perfect outlet for teenagers.
Well, I guess we can look forward to Pokemon Sleep very soon in that case.
Well, this is why Katy Perry hasn't released a Pokemon song yet, because she's busy doing consultant work on Pokemon Sleep.
Excellent.
It all makes sense.
You know what? It's all coming full circle. It is coming full circle. Thanks for the Pokemon Sleep update. We'll move on. I will say that's probably one of your best Pokemon Sleep updates to date. That was amazing. Short, to the point, but it makes perfect sense. Like, I can believe it's going to happen now. Robin Gell before that had said, yeah, the Pokemon Company are Pokemon fishing for Pokemon Sleep news. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But hey, it's time for the unknown. Hey, unknown fact of the week with Amit.
Hey, so we often talk about mishaps and mistakes in Pokemon TCG. There are lots of cards that have got misprints on that sell for lots of money.
Mhm.
But did you know that in the Pokemon Ruby Pokedex, there's actually a typo in Marwile's Pokedex entry?
Wow.
So Marwile is spelt incorrectly twice with an extra H. And you can see on screen right now the difference between its official name at the top of the screen and the name in the text, which is spelled incorrectly, Mawhile. So I guess maybe an original name that never got corrected in the text, or just a typo, someone not being awake at the wheel. But you can actually go and you can still do this today if you have a copy of Pokemon Ruby and look at Marwile's Dex entry. It's incorrect.
You can probably say that they probably noticed a mistake before they were going to ship the game and they just thought it's not worth their while.
Very good. Very good.
Oh god, Marwile's one of those Pokemon that, you know, it's there. It's pretty cool. I don't think it gets enough love though. It's a cool design.
It has a mega evolution, so it got some love. But it is one of those Pokemon that flew under the radar a bit.
It's a cool steel type.
Still fairy.
Yeah. So we've got 13 days left. One more episode before we get to the anniversary. So exciting days. But I think in terms of this episode, that's the end of it. Amit, where can they find us?
You can find us, first and foremost, at PokeRamble.com.
Oh, yes, we've got...
Right?
Yeah,
it is PokeRamble, right?
PokeRamble.com. Yeah, no, PokeRamble.com. It's PokeRamblePod@gmail.com for the email.
You can find us at PokeRamble.com if you want to check out any old episodes or find links to our Spotify and YouTube. You can also head over to YouTube and search PokeRamble Podcast or Spotify or any of your good podcast platforms. Just search PokeRamble Podcast. You can find all of our old episodes. Or email us, PokeRamblePod@gmail.com, or go and bug Kamal on his Twitter @KamalH. And if you want to join us live, and thank you for everyone who's here today, so many people with us today, you can always find us live Sunday evening at 7:30, twitch.tv/KamalH, KUMAILH. Kind of looks like Camilla, but it's not. Come join us and have fun.
I wish.
Thank you everyone for joining us today.
And I guess I'll be remiss if I didn't mention that on simplysassyvids.com, we have started a very first Let's Play series, and we're playing through Pokemon Platinum, and it's a randomized Nuzlocke, and I've got two very special guests on there. So I've got you, Amit, Logic Fuel, and I've got Rahulahoop _ also on the randomizer Nuzlocke. So go to simplysassyvids.com for the first episode.
Tense so quickly. I didn't think that it would be as exciting as it was as quickly as it got.
Yeah,
but it was tense from the get-go.
Let's just say I've got a clip out coming up on the Simply Sassy Vids Twitter channel of that moment, and I've done a little bit of editing to spice up a little bit, but wow, I cannot wait for the next episode. But yeah, check us out there as well. But until next time, I've been Kamal.
I've been Amit.
And this has been the PokeRamble Podcast.